This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
For your information, we talk about Pennsylvania's steer clear law and why it's so important next. Good evening and thanks for joining us at FYI. I'm Ken Kara. Two recent incidents in our area have put a spotlight on safety while we're driving. PennDOT Regional Press Officer James May is here to talk about Operation Steer Clear and more. Lisa Sugart has the interview.
James, thanks for being here again with us. This is an important topic that so many of us take for granted, that we're, driving around, not paying attention often, and not realizing that we could put people's lives in jeopardy.
This last week was our steer clear operation, and you may have seen signs. We had signs all over the state of Pennsylvania, including a number of signs here, reminding motorists that the law states that if you're driving and you're, say, in a two-lane interstate, if you're able to move over, you need to do so. Not only does it help for the safety of the person who's there, whether it's this police, tow truck driver, a construction worker, but it's also the law. And unfortunately, we had a very powerful but important reminder of that just last week. As we were in the midst of our campaign, as we had all these signs up, a state policeman was hit. Fortunately, he was okay, but there was a vehicle that was stopped alongside the road. The state police stopped, and another vehicle came behind and ended up hitting the state police car, which hit that car, which hit the state policeman. And so it's just a reminder of the importance of making sure that you move over when you're able to do so. Anybody who violates the law, it is a citation. There's a $250 fine that goes with that, up to 90 days license suspension. And one of the other things that a lot of people don't realize is that any other fines that would normally be associated with that you would get, say like a speeding ticket, that is doubled in an area where you could have and should have steered clear, just like they're doubled in a work zone.
And talking about safety as well, we had an incident recently involving a Hazleton area school district bus and a railroad crossing. So the railroad crossing came down while the bus was stopped there, which the bus must do by law before going over a railroad crossing. So tell us about this, and I know there's a meeting planned because of it.
We're going to go out, just by way of background, anytime that a railroad track intersects with a road, that intersection is kind of governed and owned by the Pennsylvania Utility Commission. So we're going to be meeting with them, with the railroad company, PennDOT. We'll all go out and we're going to look at this. Right now, what it's looking like, though, is just one of those at the exact, I almost said right moment, but in some ways exact wrong moment. The law states that a school bus has to go right up to the edge of the railroad track, stop, open its door, and look both ways, which the driver of the school bus did. Now, whenever you come up to these, what's going to happen when you come up to a light is there'll be about 3 to 5 seconds that the light will flash red, and then about 3 seconds later, the arm will come down, and about 25 to 30 seconds after that is when the train will come by. Well, it was at that exact moment when the bus pulled up there, and as it was sort of pulling up is when the light started flashing, so the driver stopped and did what she should have done, stopped, looked both ways, and by this point, the lights were flashing, and she had to make a decision right there. Do I stay right here? She did have, 2 or 3 seconds to get across, but she made what looks to be the right decision. She stayed there, but what that means is because the law says you have to pull up to the railroad track, that means that the arm is behind you, and the arm came down onto the bus. They weren't in danger. She wasn't in danger. The kids were not in danger. But I know that when you see that arm coming down on a school bus especially, it makes people worried. But the bus driver did what she should have done. We are going to go out and just kind of look at that area, make sure there's no other issues as far as sight distance. It doesn't appear that that's the case right now. But we want to just go out and make sure there were no other issues there with it. But it looks like just the perfect or imperfect timing there on that issue that made the arm come down on the bus.
All right. Well, thank you for keeping us up to date on that. We'll talk with you later then to see how things progress with that, if there's any changes made because of that situation. But like you said, being in the wrong place at the wrong time, it seems more like what it was. Thank you for being in and talking with us, and we look forward to talking with PennDOT in the new year as well.
Thank you very much. And we send out alerts, I know, if people want more information on what's happening in the area or maybe updates as far as construction updates or things that are taking place. Email me, jamay@pa.gov, and we'll put you on our email list.
All right. Good advice all the time from PennDOT.
Thanks, Lisa. We'll check in again soon. Today, December 15th, is the busiest mailing day of the year for the U.S. Postal Service, with 640 million pieces of mail expected to be processed. Another staggering statistic, 12.7 billion cards, letters, and packages are getting ready to be delivered between Thanksgiving and Christmas Eve. The deadline for first class and priority mail to be delivered by Christmas is this Saturday, while the deadline for priority express mail is December 23rd. Some good news concerning the price at the pump. The price of gas continues to drop well below the $3 per gallon mark. According to AAA, our area reached a milestone over the weekend as gas prices were down more than $1 from this year's highest prices of $3.78 a gallon back on May 5th. The Wilkes-Barre area gas price average dropped to $2.74 per gallon today, down 12 cents from 1 week ago. If you're looking for breaking news, make sure you check out standardspeaker.com and always pick up the Standard Speaker for in-depth news and information about your area. Coming up on FYI, we have the forecast, plus we'll hit the gym at Core Fitness, and we'll talk with a state police officer about how to keep your money and identity safe as you shop this holiday season.
This is FYI News 13, brought to you by SSPTV and the Hazleton Standard Speaker.
It's holiday time and still not an excuse to overindulge, because let's face it, after the holidays, January comes and you don't want to be feeling sluggish or depressed. We're here at Core Fitness every Monday on FYI with Christy, and we have some good tips on how to stay ahead of the game. You know, Thanksgiving you maybe overindulge, but hopefully you're getting that workout in, right? Burning some of those calories.
Yeah, you may have had your stuffing, but we don't want you to keep your stuffing. So, as we had said before, the average woman may gain between 5 and 8 pounds over the holiday season, and although Thanksgiving is gone, you still have holiday parties coming up with friends, family, work, etc. And so we want to just talk about what you can do at those parties to avoid unraveling all of the work that you did.
Let me ask you this. True or false? Some people do this. Should people eat before they go to a party?
Yes and no.
Okay.
That is one of my suggestions. I suggest that you do have a small snack before a party, but obviously something that's high in fiber or protein. We want to avoid like the processed refined carbs and sugars and all of that sort of thing. So
you don't think you'll overeat if you eat before you go to the party?
I don't.
Okay.
If you make healthy choices,
okay.
No, and you're mindful of the reason that you did it.
Okay.
Okay, so don't just eat because you're bored. I mean, a lot of times we just pick on things because we're bored.
Yes.
You have to really ask yourself, am I really hungry for this? What time is it? It's 8 o'clock, it's 9 o'clock at night. What am I doing activity-wise at 8 or 9 o'clock at night that I need this sort of indulgence that I'm putting in my body?
Okay.
So you have to watch definitely the clock. When you're eating and drinking. So when you get to the party, first of all, you will have gotten your workout in first thing in the morning, right?
Yes, no excuses.
So
get up.
Don't have an excuse. Get up an hour early, do something, turn on some music, dance, anything, any sort of activity. So then when you get to the party, if you hadn't already had your little snack,
your high fiber snack,
steer clear of the little bread trays and the crackers that are all white flour that have already been processed. So have the cheese without the cracker.
Have the shrimp, have the fruit.
Have the shrimp, definitely the protein. Very lean, there's hardly any calories in that at all. It's a great source of protein. Definitely the broccolis and the carrots. Stay away from creamy dips. Okay, they're a
ranch
huge
dressing
calorie pitfall.
You're ruining it.
The spinach and artichoke dip with the cheese and the buffalo wing dip. We want to not really eat those. If you want to cave and eat them, be mindful and take 1 spoonful, not a plate full of buffalo chicken dip with mayonnaise and cream cheese.
Or what you can do, if it's a party that you're very comfortable at, you can bring something that's a healthy choice that you could overindulge on yourself, right?
You can do that as long as you bring enough to share. I think that would be a polite thing.
Not just for you.
So then when it comes to the drinking aspect, these are calories that kind of go in that we don't see, we don't think about, but they add up.
Okay.
Okay, so try to avoid drinking an entire bottle of red wine by yourself. Try to
She's
stay
a party
with
crusher, isn't she?
If you're going to drink a hard alcohol beverage, try to steer with the clear alcohols, the dark rums and things like that. They tend to give you hangovers. So definitely the vodkas and the gins, and mix those with seltzer. Don't drink them straight or drink them with a sugared beverage. Mix them with a seltzer, and then try to, in between every drink, have 1 or 2 waters.
Okay.
Okay, that's going to help you feel full. If you've already been eating the fiber foods, then that's going to expand in your belly. You're going to feel fuller, and then you know when to
Now
stop.
she completely ruined the holiday season for everyone. I'm just kidding.
And by 9 o'clock, you should really stop.
By 9 o'clock.
Okay, 10 o'clock, they should stop.
And the disclaimer is make sure you're 21 and you're not drinking and driving.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Safe holidays.
All right, next week, what are we going to talk about?
Next week, we're talking about New Year's resolution planning.
Yes, it's time to make those new goals, a very exciting time of year, and you want to stick to those goals and have attainable goals, and we'll talk about that next week right here at Core Fitness.
Time now for FYI News 13 weather.
Welcome back to a show I call Things I'll Never Do in My Life. There is a man or woman up there working on Hayden Tower, and we always tell you about the hard work being put into some of the buildings in downtown Hazleton. Well, here you can see that hard work being done on Hayden Tower at the Markle building. All right, let's take a look at our local forecast from the National Weather Service. Tonight, cloudy with a low around 30 degrees on the extended forecast. Tuesday, showers mainly after 1 p.m. The high will be 39. New precipitation amounts between 1/10 and 1/4 of an inch possible. Tuesday night, rain showers before 1 a.m. Then a slight chance of rain and snow showers. Little or no snow accumulation expected. On Wednesday, mostly cloudy. Our high will be 40 degrees. And then on Wednesday night, we'll dip down to 27. Thursday looks nice, mostly cloudy, high near 33. Thursday night, mostly cloudy, low of around 22 degrees. And for Friday, partly sunny. The sun comes back with a high near 32. Friday night will drop to 22 degrees.
Well, we're all out shopping this holiday season. Many of us are using the plastic, the credit cards. How safe is it, and how do we avoid becoming a victim of a scam with our credit cards? Here to tell us all about it is Trooper David Peters, who is with the Pennsylvania State Police and Troop N Community Services Division. Can you tell us what exactly we can do to avoid having our credit card numbers or cards duplicated?
Well, there's always moments that your card can be compromised. Try to use it at legitimate areas that you secured the purchase there. Be aware of the places you do use it. As technology grows, so does the criminal mind, and this has opened up a whole new array for crimes to be committed. Skimming devices have become things where cards are being recoded and used, just kind of like identity theft, but on a different scale. So watch where you use your credit card. If you use it at a gas station or various ATMs, they could put these devices right on it, and you put your card in, and what it's doing is reading the numbers, and it's putting together a list. They come back, they take the list, they download the list on the thumb drives, and these thumb drives are used to make these cards, the credit cards, that are then used all over the country. I can't sit here and act like I understand it completely how it's done, but it's out there, it's growing in popularity when it comes to duplicating cards and stealing people's identity that way.
And they're saying, too, that they can just walk past you in the mall and get your credit card information out of your purse or out of your wallet. Is that possible?
Yeah, there's electronic machines out there that you can get online and things like that that can read your card. I'm not 100% sure as to the distance to what it is. But in light of that type of crime, you've seen things pop up as seen on TV, the aluminum wallet, or wrap your stuff in foil as well. I can't say that I know if they work, but again, as technology grows, so does the criminal mind, and they adapt to their surroundings, and they open up a whole new thing. Identity theft has been around a very long time, but it's grown now because more people are using their credit cards, and more people bank online. Most people don't carry cash. So for them to get this money from people, they have to take their credit card. So the old days of, stealing their name and date of birth off whatever they can get to make a card, they get the card right now, and they just duplicate it, and before they know it, the card's been used, and now they're trying to get their identity back.
What's the best advice you have for people so they don't become a victim of that, or what to do if they do become a victim?
Well, pay attention to how many cards you have. Most people, you think you need a card for everything that you need. You only need one credit card. all these store cards that you have. As we see now, a lot of stores are being compromised where their sites are being hacked and those information is being downloaded. Try to limit how much of your information is out there. How often are you using your card? Set limits on your card with your banks or your credit cards. They seem to know your history. So if something's out of sort, they usually give a good bank or a good credit card company, they're going to give you a call and say, we're looking at a purchase. This doesn't seem right out of your thing. But set limits on it that you can't charge more than $250 a day or something on your card. And then if you choose that you need to, you can always call the bank and say, hey, I want to make a purchase for $500 today. This is what I'm going to use it. At least now the bank knows they're dealing with you. So limits like that help those types of cards being less duplicated. Because even if they are compromised, they're only going to get $250 out of it. They're really not going to use it. They're going to use it and discard it and be done with it. So at least the potential is lessened.
If you hit the lottery, you can use cash this holiday season. I guess it could be an option as well. Here's your midday winning Pennsylvania lottery numbers. The Daily 639, Big 4 4430, Quinto 96952, and Treasure Hunt 5, 8, 15, 21, and 25. Sports is next on FYI.
This is FYI News 13 Sports.
Last week, we talked about a big stretch of games for both the Penn State Hazleton men's and women's basketball teams. Well, both teams will head into the semester break on a high note. The local Lady Lions are 12-1 overall and 6-0 in the Penn State University Athletic Conference after winning 3 PSU AC games on the road in the last 10 days. They beat PSU Wilkes-Barre on Friday to put a bow on the fall semester. The Lady Lions return to action on January 14th on the road. Their 6-0 league record puts them in first place in the PSU AC heading into the break. The men, they split 4 games in the last 10 days. On Thursday, they lost a non-conference game on the road by 1 point to Luzerne County Community College, but they picked up a win on Friday. The local Lions beat PSU Wilkes-Barre. Jacob Solano continues to have a stellar freshman season. He's averaging 19 points a game. The Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins had an exciting weekend. They started things off with a win at home against Bridgeport. They hit the road on Saturday and suffered a shutout loss in Allentown against the Lehigh Valley Phantoms. And then on Sunday, back at home at the Mohegan Sun Arena, they knocked off rival Hershey in overtime. Hazleton area boys basketball games against Whitehall that were postponed. They have been moved to Saturday, December 20th, with the varsity game tipping off at 7 p.m. All right, Mondays are always a celebration on FYI because Ron Marchetti is here, and today he has a great story about the New York Knicks and an airplane. Here's Trivia Treats.
9 days till Christmas and 13 straight times Navy beat Army. That's why I'm wearing this. Welcome to another edition of Trivia Treats. Hi, everybody. Exactly 40 years ago today, while resting many of their starters for the upcoming playoffs, the Dolphins overcame a 24-0 deficit to defeat the New England Patriots 34-27 at the Orange Bowl in Miami. Among those consigned to the bench were Dolphin future Hall of Famers, quarterback Bob Greasy, running back Larry Zonka, and wide receiver Paul Warfield. But enter 40-year-old quarterback Earl Morrall, who sparked the comeback after throwing 3 interceptions to a 7-point win, including 2 touchdown tosses to third-string receiver Melvin Baker. Baker's only 2 touchdown catches of his entire NFL career. That happened in 1974. This short story happened on this day in 1963. The New York Knicks center, Gene Conley, said the wrong thing at the wrong time on a flight from New York to Boston. An airport ticket agent was teasing Conley about having to play the defending champion Celtics, a club Conley played for 4 seasons through 1961. Conley replied, hey, we are going to bomb the hell out of them. Shortly before takeoff, Conley was removed from the plane and grilled for hours by FBI agents because of his use of the word bomb. After a lengthy interrogation, Conley was finally able to convince authorities that he was just joking. Mother of God. He finally caught a later flight and actually was on the floor later that evening when the Celtics bombed the Knicks 133-111 at the Boston Garden. Now let me throw another trivia question at you, and I think about 30% of you may know this. What was the first college bowl game played indoors? Actually, it was the only bowl game ever played indoors. That narrows it down. Like, what building or arena is big enough to play a football game? The answer, are you ready for this? The The Liberty Bowl was played indoors at the Atlantic City Convention Center, now Boardwalk Hall, on December 19, 1964. Utah routed West Virginia 32-6 before a small crowd of 6,059. It was the first college bowl ever played under a roof. The bowl game had been played at Municipal Stadium in Philadelphia from its inaugural season in 1959 through 1963, but was plagued by cold weather and poor attendance. With the invention of artificial turf still in developmental stages, the playing surface for the Atlantic City contest consisted of cement covered with 2 inches of burlap and a 4-inch grass top layer. The end zones were only 8 yards deep. The Liberty Bowl was moved to Memphis in 1965, where it remained ever since. No bowl game was played again in the northeastern United States until the Pinstripe Bowl was held at Yankee Stadium in 2010. Till Friday. Stay loose.
Mondays can be rough, but you can end them on a high note. Seafood night at Bottlenecks. Choose from crab, clam, shrimp, and lobster specials, such as their little neck clams in garlic butter, only $1.95 a dozen, or handmade crab cake platter for only $8.95.
Good evening, everyone, and here's tonight's Talk of the Town report. 2 quick announcements. Hazleton Trinity Lutheran Church, located at Church and Hemlock Streets, will be holding their Hazleton Trinity Nursery and Kindergarten School annual Christmas program called The Gigantic Star on Friday, December 19th. The shows will be held at 10 a.m. and also at 12:30. Everyone is welcome to attend. And finally, Holy Trinity Orthodox Church, 223 South Kennedy Drive in McAdoo, will be having a pierogi and hulishki sale Friday, December 19th from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Please call ahead to guarantee your order, 570-929-2179. That's tonight's Talk of the Town. News 13 would like to send sincere condolences to the family and friends of these recently departed. Emil Dabrowski, formerly of Hazleton. Funeral is Tuesday at 9 a.m. from the Hazel Chapel of the Crofton Hughes Funeral Home. Mass is at 9:30 a.m. in the St. John the Baptist Byzantine Catholic Church. Friends may call Monday from 7 to 9 p.m. at the funeral home. Betty Jean Swigart of Partysville. Service will be held Wednesday at 7 p.m. in the Faith United Church of Christ. Friends may call at the church from 6 to 7 p.m. The Harmon Funeral Home is assisting the family with the arrangements. Phyllis A. Kikavage of Hazleton. Funeral is Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. from the Furo Funeral Home. Friends may call Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m. And George R. Sable Sr. of Hazleton. All services will be held privately and at the convenience of the family. The Harmon Funeral Home is assisting the family with the arrangements. Attention pay-per-view subscribers, if you see your name right now on News 13, you'll have 13 minutes to call in and win a free movie from Service Electric Cablevision. Our winner tonight is Julie Morgan of Sugarloaf. Julie, if you're watching, give us a call right now, 570-455-7267, extension 104.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay in touch. Go to facebook.com/FYI News 13. We'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy, everyone.
Burger Cadillac, Hazleton. Drive with experience.